Hi, everybody. Those of you who took the course that I taught in the fall of 2009 will remember the figures of speech who are in the book, that is, First Amendment heroes and villains. And it's hard, as you remember, to sort out who are the heroes and villains. I saw this online cartoon someplace on the internet, and I don't know if you can read the captions, but Julian Assange is saying, I give private information on corporations to you for free, and I'm a villain. And Mark Zuckerberg says, I give your private information to corporations for money, and I'm Man of the Year. So who's the hero and who's the villain in this scenario anyway? The characters in the WikiLeaks phenomenon arrived on the scene too late for the book. I suppose there's going to have to be a sequel, something like Sons of Figures of Speech. And I'll talk today about the characters who came on the scene with the WikiLeaks phenomenon. If you'd like, you can hiss the villains and you can cheer the heroes if you can figure out who's who, which is which. Let's start with Julian Assange. Is he a First Amendment hero or a villain? And I recognize that even suggesting that Assange may be some kind of hero is offensive to a lot of people, and probably to some of you. You can judge him for yourself. All I will try to do in the tradition of Fox News is, you know what's coming, right? Is be fair and balanced. Assange is, of course, the founder of WikiLeaks. When he was interviewed on 60 Minutes a few weeks ago, he wrapped himself in the First Amendment and said that, quote, our founding values are those of the American Revolution, those of Jefferson and Madison. Assange may not know that our Constitution was written in complete secrecy in Philadelphia behind closed doors guarded by sentries, and there were no leaks. Some think of Assange as a character from a Stieg Larsson thriller, a man who could be either hero or villain in a story, one of those Swedish stories that mix hacker counterculture with high-level conspiracy and sex. He's become one of the most famous people in the world right now. There are 4 movies in production about Assange. He's a fast-moving target. He lives out of a backpack. He's Australian, but he doesn't appear to have any home. He moves from country to country when he can. He's quite eccentric, volatile. He's an expert computer hacker, now turned anti-secrecy crusader. Bill Keller, the editor of the New York Times, said that Assange runs, quote, a secretive cadre of anti-secrecy vigilantes. Assange is currently in England, as I'm sure you know, fighting extradition to Sweden, where he's wanted for investigation on charges of sexual assault. His 2 accusers say he had sex with them, at first consensually, but again without using a condom as he had promised. He was sent to jail when he was arrested in the UK and put in the same Victorian prison where Oscar Wilde served his time. An English court has ordered him extradited to Sweden. He's now free on bail, and his hearing on appeal is set for July the 12th. Another of the principal characters in the WikiLeaks saga is Private Bradley Manning. Is the young soldier a First Amendment hero? or a villain. He's the guy, apparently, who put WikiLeaks on the map. I say apparently because he's only been accused of being the leaker of thousands of military communications about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and 250,000 State Department cables. I don't know whether he's even accused or in fact responsible of the release of the Guantanamo records that were released by WikiLeaks just last week. Manning started his leaking career with a videotape that he leaked to WikiLeaks. The tape, when he came across it, highly upset him. It was of a United States helicopter attack in Baghdad in which several civilians were killed, including 2 Reuters journalists on the ground. Manning's job in Baghdad was to work on 2 military laptop computers, and he, along with some 500,000 other people, had a security clearance that permitted him access to these classified databases. Allowing so many people access to classified material is apparently a reaction to the post-9/11 determination that the intelligence agencies weren't sharing information enough, so they've gone overboard now and share it with lots of people. But I don't know how you're supposed to keep a secret that is known by 500,000 other people. Manning allegedly copied the databases of these military communications onto rewritable CDs that contained his Lady Gaga music. And it had Lady Gaga written on his CD, and what he did was erase the Lady Gaga music and load it up with government secrets. He's now in jail in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, awaiting court-martial. When he was held at Quantico, at the Marine brig in Quantico, it was in extremely harsh conditions, as you've probably read, where he didn't have clothes and total solitary confinement and so on. He was allowed to have books, and for some reason he requested a copy of Immanuel Kant's Critique of Pure Reason. He's an unusual young man. This great menace to society stands all of 5'2" and weighs 105 pounds. And he does have some of the characteristics that I at least would associate with heroism. If he's the leaker, he didn't do it for the money. He didn't do it for fame. He didn't do it to hurt his country, but seemingly out of some kind of naive idealism and moral opposition to some of the things that our country has been doing, with a willingness to take the consequences of his action. Some people in Berkeley wanted to give Manning a heroism award, and they put it before the city council to formally bless Manning as a hero. But it was pointed out that he hasn't been convicted yet, so his heroism hasn't been verified, and they tabled the motion in the city council. In Berkeley, you have to be a convicted felon in order to be a hero. If Manning is the leaker, he unquestionably betrayed his trust. He, in turn, was betrayed by a friend, a convicted hacker by the name of Adrian Lamo, who elicited long, detailed confessions from Manning in online chats just between the two of them. And then Lamo turned Manning into the government, to the authorities, and gave his hard drive with all of the online chats to the FBI. In the chats, Manning told Lamo, "I couldn't be a spy. Spies don't post things up for the world to see." What WikiLeaks did that has so many Americans upset is first dump on the internet thousands of military communications from the battlefields in Afghanistan without redacting any of the names of informants or other individuals who might be at risk. Then it